Good morning. First of all, I want to make an apology. I got an email or a comment saying, "That's the second time now you've called me somebody." My name is Vera. This is from Auntie-Vera-Charles, and I apologize deeply, Auntie-Vera, for not using your name. And the reason I say somebody is I feel sometimes that maybe people would rather not be identified. I guess I don't know why I thought that of you, dear. But so Auntie-Vera-Charles is somebody who has been commenting on my videos for years and calls me to task when I go for some period without posting. This is from Catbird. I love traditional two-colored quilts, but don't think I can stand to make all the pieces. I have an idea for one, but just can't seem to get to it. I don't know how you all get so much done. It takes me forever to do the simplest of craft tasks. Well, one reason might be because you're considering them tasks. Nobody likes to do tasks. But if you can turn a task into a ballet, like washing the dishes or something, the more you think about how you are to get to it, the less likely you are to do it. It would be better to just sit and do nothing and give yourself a little time, give yourself a little space. Say you've got a couple of hours and you don't have anything to do, and you're just going to sit. Idle, completely idle. The only thing you could possibly do during those 2 hours would be to have fun with some of your scraps of material. You'd be surprised. You might get to the point after some period of time where you just had to get up and start playing with your material. There shouldn't be a goal, that's something that you've got to do. The self-criticism and judgment on all this isn't conducive to being productive. Nature-Junkie asks, when you're finished, do you ever feel a slight sadness that it's over? Or is it satisfaction and nothing else? Well, there is certainly a feeling of it's being over, completed. Do you know I have a terrible confession to make? There's a quilt on my bed right now, a 9-patch stretch, that I didn't really finish the edge on. I have never behaved in this slipshod manner before, and I've got to get that done. That I'm thinking of as a task, actually. But to get back to your question, well, there's a feeling of completion, and then there's the party, of course, the unveiling. There's always a ceremony of unveiling.
Bravo!
But what I feel strongest of all is, whoa, I've been working for several weeks now, 6 hours a day. Now I've got all this time to do something in. Time that I didn't have before because I was doing this. Now I have a hole. So it's fun to see, oh, now I can do this. Sometimes there's a sense of loss because all of you guys out there who have been watching start saying, oh, it's over. When are you going to do your next one? I don't know what I'm going to do now. I've been watching all the time and now it's all over. And so then I can put on the nostalgic music and make a little drama out of the end of it. But I don't know if I'm really feeling that myself or not. Vital Finds says, I've only done quilt kits so far and haven't quilted either one. But one of these days I want to make something, even a tote bag, without a pattern or kit. Yes, yes ma'am. I always used a pattern or a kit. And it didn't matter what I was doing. It felt too risky to just do something completely on my own. Whether it was drawing, I'd rather trace or copy or use somebody else's idea. So that's good you're thinking about that. Definitely do that. I mean, you could make something that didn't even resemble a bag. You could come up with some totally outlandish creative thing that was totally you. And in a similar vein, A Great Gig 1 says, whenever I watch you make a quilt, I get inspired to make one. Then I start to get things together and realize I don't have a thing that I would need, including talent. Same thing. I don't know where we get these ideas. You all know my Ken-Kesey story, probably. My trip to Ken-Kesey's, when I had that realization that I had never done anything, and the reason I couldn't do it was because it wouldn't be good. People, don't buy it. Don't buy it. First of all, nobody cares. Nobody cares whether you have talent or not. So why bother? Why bother worrying about it? And you say you don't have a thing you need. You have everything you need. Presumably you have scissors. You probably have, do you have a sewing machine? I don't know exactly what you're thinking of when you think what you need. If you want to make a quilt, well, I'm not even sure you need fabric. What about making a quilt out of paper? Glue a quilt together. You may be talking about more than quilts, or maybe you just think, I want to do a quilt like tree. I want to sew fabric together. Well, okay. Maybe you've got something there. You don't have nothing. You've got too much, probably. Maybe that's the problem. We have too much. We're not desperate. Those G's Bend ladies just work with what they have. They're not going out and buying stuff. I doubt. I think they've just been given stuff. This person's old pants, that person's old blouse, this tablecloth they're not using anymore, whatever. And they sew it together. And they didn't select the things, maybe, because they didn't have that much to select from, so you get all kinds of weird combinations that are wonderfully, they're inspired, but they came out of the necessity of what they had rather than going to a Britex fabric store and selecting rare exotic fabrics. Of course, what they have is what I consider pretty exotic, but like lime green, satin, or whatever. They'll mix anything, they'll do anything. So, you people, I think that you're thinking about it too much. If you want to do it, do it. Just get started. No judgment.